From sources that the Law Ministry has refused to change the MMDR 2015. Remember, Goa Chief Minister Manohar Parrikar had sought centre to insert a new section to allow resumption of mining in Goa. Anshu Sharma is joining in with details on the story. Anshu?
Well, sources say that Mines Ministry had sought legal opinion on whether it can insert a new section of 8B under MMDR or Mines and Mineral Development Regulation Act of 2015, which could have allowed resumption of mining in Goa. Now, legal opinion from the Law Ministry has advised against any such changes to the Mines Ministry. The miners and the state government of Goa basically wanted first grant of mining leases as per the Goa Daman and Diu mining concession laws of 1987, which could have allowed 50 years of mining lease to these miners under the new section which the government would have inserted under MMDR Act. Now, the Supreme Court banned mining in the state starting March 16 this year, as state renewed all the leases right before MMDR Act 2015 was passed in the parliament. Now, this saved miners from losing their mines to the auction regime. Starting today, Goa Mining People's Front will be holding protest in Delhi till December 13th. Remember, Goa's iron ore was of low-grade quality, which was mostly exported. And until March ban this year, there was a mining cap of 20 million ton per annum by the Supreme Court in Goa. The impact will be on listed company Vedanta, which has an exposure of iron ore mining in the state of Goa, apart from Salgaonkars and the Timlers. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Anshu, so much for that. Now, let's quickly cut across to Shireen. We'll go back to the main big story of the day, what the final numbers seem to be suggesting, and that close contest that we witnessed in Madhya Pradesh. Shireen?
All right, guys, so this is what the big wall is telling you at this point in time. For the Congress in Madhya Pradesh, it is advantage Congress, at least at this point in time. Now, the Congress, 118, that is what the leads are suggesting for the Congress party in the crucial state of Madhya Pradesh. It's 118 for the Congress and 101 for the BJP. That's the leads. Now, remember, a lot of people have been asking how come our data looks very different from the data that's coming in on the other channels. The reason that is different is because courtesy Network 18, the TV network, the News 18 network, what we are getting is information from reporters at every counting center, and hence that data is being fed into our algorithms, and that's the number that's showing up at this point in time for the Congress in MP. It is 118 and 101 for the BJP. Now let's come to the state of Rajasthan. The Congress is clear. The party will be having a meeting of its MLAs tomorrow to decide on the chief ministerial candidate. So Rajasthan going in favor of the Congress party. The final tally as of now, and I keep pointing out that the leads as of now, it's 105 for the Congress and 69 for the BJP for the crucial state of Rajasthan. There is still no clarity on the Ashok Gehlot versus Sachin Pilot battle. So the BJP versus Congress battle, that's clear, and it is advantage Congress. The Gehlot versus Pilot battle, we still don't have a clear winner emerging just yet. On to Chhattisgarh. This is done and dusted. The Congress will form the government in Chhattisgarh. This was not a victory of this magnitude that the Congress itself was expecting. The BJP wasn't expecting this kind of a setback in the state of Chhattisgarh. The government formation task will start tomorrow, is what we're given to understand. Again, a question mark on who the chief ministerial candidate will be. Telangana is the TRS. But this is the big story, and let's go across now to our magic wall. That's Madhya Pradesh, 116. Well, this tally has now changed, so let's just bring that up for the benefit of our viewers again, because it's changing practically every minute. It is 116 for the Congress, it's 103 for the BJP. The Congress has improved versus the last election. It's up 58 and the BJP is down 62. Conversations are on with the BSP as well as some of the others. Both sides are in conversation with some of those independent candidates as well as Mayawati's BSP. Let's just bring up the filters and tell you what really is going on as far as the state of Madhya Pradesh is concerned. What's happened in the rural constituencies? Large parts, 75% of Madhya Pradesh rural constituencies. Look at the big gains the Congress has made there. Up 50 seats, 105. The BJP has lost 52 seats as per the current data and the leads that have come in. Let's go to some of the other filters and tell you about whether the BJP has been able to retain its bastions or not, and that doesn't seem to be the case. Rural seats and the BJP bastions down 27 for the BJP out of the 67 seats, and the Congress has gained about 24. Let's let's take a look at some of the other filters now. And if you look at the millennial influence, because this again was going to be crucial, because a lot of the discourse was not about jobs, etc. It was really about, you know, caste and the temple and so on and so forth. How have the millennials voted? Their influence has been important. In 40 seats out of the 230, the Congress has gained. It's up 13 and BJP down about 12 at this point in time. What about Shivraj Singh Chauhan? Let's just take a look at the Shivraj factor and how that has played out so far as MP is concerned. Remember, three-time sitting Chief Minister of the BJP in MP, and that down 16, 31. So his influence across 65 seats, 31 down 16. The Congress is up 13. So the picture in MP continues. The lead is now once again still in favor of the Congress, but about 10 minutes ago it was 120, it's now 216. The margin we're given to understand in about 25 odd seats is between 500 to maybe 1,000 votes. So that's the kind of difference that we're talking about. We'll keep you updated, but that's the story. This is the state to watch out for. This is the uncertainty that continues. Congress 116, BJP 103. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Shireen, very much for that. So those are the latest numbers. Let's now also bring in our colleague Archana Shukla to get in a mood check from outside the BJP headquarters in Delhi. Archana.
We are coming to you from the BJP headquarters here in Delhi. Well, the mood here is quite subdued. As you can see around, there's hardly any party workers or fans or supporters of the party. There are no flags being waved here, no slogans being shouted here. It's absolutely quiet. It's an uneasy quiet. Well, while Rajasthan and Chhattisgarh are two states where it's been somewhere called out that Congress will be making the government and BJP may in the next hour or so concede defeat. But as far as Madhya Pradesh is concerned, that's where all eyes are right now. And even for the spokespersons here at the BJP office, they are all waiting for the results from Madhya Pradesh, where it could somewhere turn in favor of BJP, and that could be a positive. And maybe then we will see some senior party leaders down here in the BJP office to give us some comments on how they've seen these elections pan out. But as far as the BJP discussions are concerned, we understand there is going to be a meeting of the senior party leaders here in BJP headquarters in Delhi to kind of formalize on what happens next. But all of that will wait until the results from Madhya Pradesh somewhere firm up.
All right. Thanks, Archana, for that ground report. Parikshit Luthra caught up with Gaurav Gogoi, Congress leader. Let's hear out what that view was.
Well, my first reaction is to, give a lot of credit to Rahul ji, because, he completes a year after being Congress president. And back in 2014, when we didn't do so well in Lok Sabha, many people had written the Congress party off, and BJP was so arrogant as to say that there was going to be a Congress Mukta Bharat. Now, in the Hindi heartland, where three governments which were incumbent BJP governments, literally Rahul ji has delivered a knockout punch before the 2019 Lok Sabha polls. The wind have been taken out from their sails, and I think it's a victory of the people of these three states over the arrogance of BJP in these three states. It's a victory of issues such as farmers' issue, unemployment issues, over the hate politics that's done by the BJP.
We'd like to ask you about Madhya Pradesh specifically. It looks like it's going to be a photo finish in the end. While the Congress is still striking a confident note, do you think it'll be very important to see where the BSP, where the independents and smaller parties and the rebel candidates go?
Well, absolutely. I think, first of all, there's still a couple of rounds left. And I think by the time we, reach finish counting the last round, Madhya Pradesh will be in a very clear position for the Congress party that we're all set to form the government on our own. But at the same time, I think it's good that we had a big opposition meeting yesterday of all the parties. So it's good to keep the dialogue going, because this is, as I said, the semi-final. As we go up to 2019, it's important to keep the Mahagathbandhan together.
There are some murmurs within the Congress, and we've been hearing those voices, that probably the candidate selection in Rajasthan, in Madhya Pradesh could have been better, seat allocation could have been better, and the result would have been more decisive then.
Well, you know, we've come a long way from like Congress, Mukt Bharat, to maybe Congress only winning one state, to now we are saying like Congress winning all 3 states, but should the margin have been bigger? I think these are all smaller things. What matters is the scorecard will, as you see, in states where BJP and Congress go head to head, it will be Congress 3, BJP 0.
Mizoram, you expected this result?
Mizoram, you see, if you see Mizoram and Telangana, it's been a fight between Congress and the regional party in either in Mizoram, MNF or TRS in Telangana. And clearly, it is a way, something to introspect as to how Congress can, in these states where regional parties are there, how do we motivate our workers and connect with the public that much more.
Okay, now let's shift to the big story that's coming out of Europe. Brexit. Will it or won't it happen? CNBC's William Marks joins in with the latest details on British Prime Minister Theresa May's Brexit voting plans falling through in the face of overwhelming lack of support.
For days, if not weeks, there'd been uncertainty as to whether the British Prime Minister would cancel a vote that would have taken place today to approve her plans for Brexit. She went ahead and cancelled that Monday afternoon in the face of what looked to be an overwhelming defeat for her government. She now travels to The Hague in Holland, to Berlin in Germany, and also to Brussels today to try and meet with some of her European counterparts, significant political leaders across the continent, to see whether they might be able to offer clarifications or even minor concessions that would do enough to appease members of her own Conservative Party so that her current proposal, the 585 pages of withdrawal agreement that she has painstakingly negotiated with Brussels, could indeed pass through the House of Commons in the Palace of Westminster behind me. A lot of criticism from her political opponents and those inside her own Conservative Party about her approach. What they say is that not only has she shown political cowardice, but she's also running out the clock, potentially drawing closer to that March 29th deadline. If she fails to get this through Parliament before then, of course, we would see no deal between the UK and the EU. That would have a significant impact on markets, on investor confidence, and already, in the face of this cancellation of the vote yesterday, we've seen the pound falling to a 20-month low.
All right, on that note, we'll take a very quick break. All the commodity market action coming up with Manisha Gupta on the other side.
Today, manufacturers are looking for new ways to respond better to complex markets. With Hitachi's IoT platform, we can analyze data from multiple companies, sharing manpower, goods, and expertise beyond their own capabilities. Because working together today brings new ideas for a better tomorrow. The future is open to suggestions. This is social innovation. Hitachi, inspire the next.
Make every moment a magic moment. जो हाथ आपकी जिंदगी पलटने में लगे हैं, उनसे आप फालतू के अकाउंट नंबर्स लिखवाना चाहते हैं, कर देता हूँ. Without numbers and codes on free charge UPI, because it's slick, it's quick, chick chicka chick chick.
Welcome back. It has been all about looking at those numbers, analyzing, and of course looking at all of those important states, crucial states, of course, where the farmer, the village unrest, protest, agitation, of course, perhaps has led to this, is what the markets really seem to be analyzing at this point in time. So the farm sector, the agriculture sector going forward is going to be very important to look at. But we also have to take a look at the international markets, where we have seen most of the commodities actually gain ground on the back of decline in US dollar. The anticipation that the US Fed will slow down on its interest rate hikes as we get into 2019. And there you have the crude oil prices, just about 60 at Brent and 51 is holding on the NYMEX there. It is about Libya actually declaring force majeure on its biggest oil field, El Sharara, and that clearly has been supportive for the crude oil prices. The metals should come on your screens because we have seen the copper prices gain up. That clearly, as I said, is because of the US-China trade negotiations continuing. A bit of a decline in the US dollar that actually led to the international metal prices gaining a bit. The Indian metal prices in the meanwhile are trading quite mixed on your screens.
Mark To, Head of Research at Wing Fung Financial Group, now joins us on phone line to discuss the same. Mark, hi, good to have you. What is your sense on the metal space to begin with? Because a bit of a softening in the US dollar usually is supportive. While we have seen the gold prices trade at around 5 to 6 month highs, the metal prices also seem to be taking some positive cues from that.
Yes, thank you for having me. I tend to think that the gold price is about to have further upside, because we can see that the market has recently priced in the slowing down of the economy, as well as the pacing of the interest rate hike in the United States. I think it is very important for gold has been very sensitive to monetary policy, whether for its tightening or for its easing. So right now we are all looking forward to further upside, maybe 1,300 or maybe even more, as long as we can see that the interest rate hike is really slowed down. But of course, for the coming FOMC, I do think that, according to my previous forecast that I have maintained for the whole year, that for 2018, the whole year, I think there should be 4 rate hikes in the United States, once per quarter. I haven't changed that view, but of course, anything that is to be changed is to be changed in 2019. But for the other precious metals, I think one more interesting thing is the so-called comparison between gold prices as well as the palladium, because we can see that the prices has been moving closer and closer. But I tend to think that it is only temporary. It is not really significant in the analytical sense. What is more important is the comparison between gold price as well as silver prices. At this moment, I do think that gold price is more sensitive. So if you look forward to short-term momentum, gold price is what you are looking for. But suppose we actually see the interest rate high slowing down, maybe then we can have the silver price to catch up with the another round of upside.
Mark, as you mentioned that we perhaps are looking at 1,300 plus kind of levels for gold. How longer term do you see that happening? Because we already are looking at a lot of banks and brokerages estimating 1,350, even 1,400 on the higher side in 2019. Would you agree with that?
It should not be really surprising as long as we have the slowing down of the economy, or at least the slowing down of the growth rate of the US GDP. But of course, what is really important is the fact attitude towards further tightening or towards the uncertainties around the Trump administration. It is very hard to say right now, because you can see that there are lots of issues that investors are really concerned about. But I think the most important or most critical one is still the monetary policy normalization. I think for the QEs, the normalization will keep its own pace. But for the more ordinary measures like the interest rate hike, it is more data dependent. So right now, if we can see that the neutral rate, according to the Fed chair's attitude, we can see that there should be some consensus in the coming few quarters. So for gold price, I think what you said, 1,300 to 1,400, that should be feasible in 2019.
Fair point, Mark. We'll let you go at that. Really appreciate you taking time out for us and giving us a range on the gold prices for this year and the next as well. Joining us also now is Prathamesh Malia, Chief Analyst, Commodities and Currencies at Angel. Prathamesh, hi. What is your sense when it comes to the gold and silver prices, with what the rupee is doing, with what the international markets are doing, the kind of cues that we have? Are you buying this as well?
Hello, Manisha. I think for us it's a double whammy blow of whether international markets, how it moves when rupee, the volatility in rupee, how it catches up. But my sense is that I think it looks difficult to cross 1,300 mark. But I'm really not ruling out some momentum from here on in rupee terms. I think 32,100, which is a move of almost 400 to 500 rupees in the immediate near term, is what is possible in gold. While as far as silver goes, 38,500, 38,600 are two particular marks that we are looking at. So yes, some momentum is remain, but looks difficult to cross 1,300.
Okay. Also, what is your sense on the metal space, Prathamesh? Because we've seen LME start on a positive note. The US-China talks are on. The US dollar is slightly on the weaker side. I mean, of course, the numbers from China are not so supportive, especially the steel prices, which has seen a decline for yet another day. So it seems quite divided. And in any case, we are closing 2018 in negative for all the non-ferrous metals. But with whatever days that are remaining for December 2018, how would you want to put strategy here?
I think, Manisha, I mean, it is really not a surprise. The trade war has been on for fairly long a period of time, and although it looks to be settled down, but I think we would possibly close the year on a negative note, no second thought on it. But I would just to place a bet on metals, I think immediate, because since all the metals have been hammered, by the end of this year, we may some recovery in almost all the metals. But if I have to pick one, I think in the immediate near term, I would pick copper. I think 445, 447 are two particular marks that we're looking at as far as metal price goes.
All right, Prathamesh, we'll let you go at that. Well, those, of course, are a few buy calls really coming in for gold and for the industrial metals as well. And well, that, of course, is in case of the commodities. But remember, it has been a very, very important day in sense of Indian markets and, of course, Indian politics as well, where we have seen loads of those number changes really coming in. We will, of course, have that coming in on your screen, where you can see the Madhya Pradesh, 230 out of that is done, 117 for Congress. That, of course, has been a big, big jump up there. In Rajasthan, of course, as was earlier expected, 103 in favor of Congress, 71 for BJP there. All 199 numbers are there for you. Chhattisgarh, again, it has been for the Congress. Out of 90, 67 goes to that party. 14 is what BJP seems to be holding at this point in time. And Telangana, as we have been telling you, those numbers were out quite early in the day. 87 for TRS from that 119, and Congress holds a strong 22. Mizoram, yet another, 5 for Congress and 26 out of 40 for MNF is how that tally really stands at this point in time. But with that, that's all the time that we have on this edition of Closing Bell. After the bell takes all the action forward.